Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown. And in today's episode, we're going to talk about the physical versus the commercial boundaries of a zone. And this may sound odd given the nature of a zone, because a zone is a zone is a zone. And a zone, as you have seen in previous episodes, is confined by geography. It's or described or delimited as the term that is used by geography. It's a physical space designated by a government under some law, some decree that says these laws or these incentives apply to it, and it's used to attract investment, whether local or foreign, typically foreign, but not exclusively, right? So it's a geographic space. So what do I mean by the commercial boundaries of a zone? And shouldn't the two be the same? And they're not necessarily the same. So the physical boundary that I just described is literally the 4 square walls of a zone, right? That is what says this building, this area, that's the zone, right? And all activities that are zone related ought to happen in that zone per the law, right? The commercial boundaries, though, are a bit different. And this there's a range. So there is, what were you authorized to do in that physical space? So that's part of your commercial boundaries. However, most zones are set up in a way to drive trade, right? And as part of trade, both import and export, for which you'd benefit from different arrangements, whether trade agreements or bilateral investment treaties or other types of arrangements between countries. You could say, for example, benefit from the country having an agreement under the World Customs Organization, under the revised Kyoto Treaty, for simplification of customs procedures, for example, where both countries mutually recognize their authorized economic operators, right? Having goods move seamlessly. So that extends your commercial boundary. So your commercial boundary is no longer confined by that physical geography, but extends beyond that into that other country through that access in that. Typically, though, you'd find that the commercial boundaries are extended via trade agreements. So most modern trade agreements, some older ones will exclude zones, but most modern ones are either silent or include zones in some way, shape, or form. Exports come in from zones. So that would then extend your boundary, not just limited to the geography of the zone, or even the geography of the country, which is much bigger than the zone, and then extend it to the trade network of that country. So if that country has 20 or 30 trade agreements, that is now your commercial space operating from the zone, right? So your commercial boundary and your physical boundary are not necessarily the same. So if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe. If you want to see me do a particular episode, just leave me a comment down below and I'll get right back to you. Bye for now.